Welcome back to the Bluegrass, and it's overcast and windy April afternoon. I'm out with Honey, about a 4.5-month-old black Labrador Retriever. And in this video, we're going to work a few puppies, and we're going to talk about something that's very important to me, which is getting out and looking for new friends and building strong relationships to make sure that your puppy grows up to be a happy, healthy, well-socialized, fully developed adult dog, okay? I made a post the other day encouraging people who had friendly and outgoing dogs like this Labrador Retriever to get out and look for new friends and look for new relationships. And I was very surprised at some of the responses. Okay, we're gonna discuss those responses today, and I'm gonna give you guys some pro tips for going out into the world and having positive experiences when it comes to interacting with people and other dogs. Let's go, Honey. So one of the things that I feel personally is very troubling in terms of trends in the dog business is this idea that dogs need to be apathetic when they're out walking. And you might say, Stonnie, apathetic? I haven't heard people talk about apathy very much. No, but you do hear people talk about neutral or neutrality a lot, okay? In other words, they want dogs to go out and not pay attention to other dogs in the environment, not pay attention to other people in the environment, and kind of stay focused on the handler. Okay, look guys, I'm not in any way saying that I don't want you and your dog to have a relationship where the dog looks at you and thinks that you're an important person, because I know that that's a very valuable part of having a dog. But you don't need to make the dog have less love in its life for you to have plenty of love in your life. Okay, let me just unpack that for you a bit. This dog was bred to be friendly and outgoing. And this type of dog thrives when it has access to people and dogs and new experiences, okay? So why would I want to take this dog out into the world where there's fun stuff to be done every day and rob it of the opportunity to fully realize its social potential, okay? I don't want to do that. I want this dog to walk out the door every day with positive expectations of what might be going to happen during our walk. That doesn't mean that I'm encouraging the dog to go out and be rude. Doesn't mean that I'm encouraging the dog to go out and make unsolicited overtures to every person and every dog that it sees. But what it does mean is that I want the dog to be super happy about the chance to earn an opportunity to interact with new people and new dogs, okay? So like, see this little dog here? We're doing just a little obedience routine. For all you guys that are familiar with my channel, you know that I kind of bring these dogs out here and I teach them a very simple and easy to implement vocabulary. I build a base set of skills. And I do so in such a way that makes it easy for me to take this dog places and people to look at it from a positive perspective, okay? If you do your basic obedience, I say this all the time, basic obedience solves everything. If you do your basic obedience right, if you do your early socialization right, then you should be able to take your dog out into the world and have no fear about introducing your dog to other people or novel stimulation in the environment or other dogs, okay? And when I say that, I know some of you guys are gonna like post below, but Stonnie, what about this kind of dog? What about that kind of dog? Look, it's just like you. When you go out and you go to the park, when you go out and you go to a bar, okay, your head's up, your eyes are out, your head's on a swivel, you're looking for danger. Same thing when you're walking your dog. I'm not telling you to go up to dangerous people. I'm not telling you to go up to dangerous dogs. But what I am telling you is there's a lot of nice people in the world and there's a lot of nice dogs in the world. And I want you to learn to spot them, and I want you to, open up and realize that today we're too lonely, okay? There's more people than ever, but loneliness is an epidemic. And it's not only an epidemic for handlers, but the handlers project that anxiety and neurosis on the dogs, okay? And so if you're one of those people, I'm just asking you today to give what I say, just what I'm fixing to show you, give it a chance, give it a chance. Like, listen to it and go out and try it just a little bit and see if it doesn't make a big difference. For this dog in particular, her owner owns some assisted living facilities, and she's going to be around a lot of people, and this dog's going to bring a lot of joy into people's lives. But to do that, she has to have good basic obedience and good socialization. So I just showed you what it looks like when you're practicing obedience, just you and your dog. Now I'm going to recruit my daughter to come help me start the socialization process so we can get her ready to go to the assisted living home. Okay, Charlotte, come over here. Let's go. Now, what do I want when I go to the assisted living home? First things first, I know that there's going to be people that are a little bit fragile hanging around, and a lot of them are maybe going to have trouble walking, so they might be on a walker. So Charlotte's going to get a walker. And we're just going to start to desensitize the dog to the type of equipment that it might see in the assisted living facility. So we'll start off with the walker, and I'm going to have Charlotte talk to the dog in a way that somebody might talk to the dog who was looking for a little extra friendship in their life, okay? Now remember, I told you we're looking for new friends, but we're not looking to make unsolicited overtures, and we're not looking to be rude in our enthusiasm. So I'm going to teach Charlotte first, and some people would call this being neutral. I don't call this being neutral, but I'm going to teach the dog at first to kind of stay focused on the task at hand, and then what staying focused on the task at hand is going to do is lead to interaction with Charlotte, okay? But we're going to make sure that that interaction doesn't endanger the person that has impaired walking ability. So Charlotte, you're going to walk on the inside of the circle and talk to the dog while I'm walking her. Now what I'm going to do is whenever she kind of stays with me and stays on task, I'm going to reward her. And then when we get over here, I'm going to back tie her, and we're going to practice on you interacting with her, but her not jumping up and not getting in your walker, okay? So you're going to stay on the inside circle until we get over here, and then we're going to come over and I'm going to tie the dog to the four-wheeler, okay? All right, now you can talk to the dog. Just think about how somebody might talk to the dog if they were lonely and looking for a friend, okay? So around here, we're big on exercise and food work protocols. Come on, nerd. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be walking this dog, and I'm going to play a game with her where whenever she has the proper response to meeting somebody that is talking to her and trying to get her excited, I'm going to reward her for staying calm, attentive, and polite. So you come over here, and as I come off of here, you start kind of trying to talk to her and distract her. Guys, this is a fun exercise. I mean, like, it's easy to recruit people to help you do fun games, you know. Now, if you're a traditional trainer, if you're a more discipline-oriented trainer, this basic advice, it stays true. You know, it's just that the implementation would be a little bit different, okay? But what I'm looking to do is build on successes, okay? So Charlotte's talking to the dog, okay, and the dog stays focused on the task at hand, and I reward her. Now, as I walk over here, Charlotte's just going to kind of follow, and as the dog's walking up the ramp, Charlotte's going to talk to her. Come on, nerd, you can do it. Very nice. And you're going to get over here. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. And then right along and through here, Charlotte. There you go. Just go wherever I am. Good. So this is like doing your schoolwork. You know how you'll do your schoolwork and sometimes your brother will come in and try to get you off task? Yeah. Yeah. Well, like dogs, like children, have to learn to stay on task. Now, in this situation, what we're doing is we're using little rewards to keep her on task, but the end result is she's going to be able to interact with Charlotte, and that's going to be the big reward. So always understand that if you're doing food work protocols, the food work is kind of a placeholder while the dog's young, and it shouldn't really be in play past the mid-adolescent period or so, okay? Because what's really going to be the reward over the long haul is the dog's going to get in the habit of accessing the things that it wants via indirect action, that indirect action generally being calm, attentive, and polite. Easy. In other words, the dog's going to understand that if it goes out in the world and it has awesome manners, come on, nerd, you can do it. If it goes out in the world and it has awesome manners, then people are much more likely to interact with it and do nice stuff for it. Basically, food work for dogs, once they get past their initial growth spurts, is simply a physical manifestation of your pleasure, okay? And that lets the dog know that you're happy with them. And generally, when owners are happy with dogs, good things happen. And so after a while, you don't need food work with the puppy. You know, when I was a kid, food work first came along, and a lot of the old timers were like, you know, don't be doing that, because like if you go to giving them treats for everything, they'll only mind when the treats are around. Okay, that's not necessarily true, but I will tell you this. There are too many people in the world right now that are implementing dog training protocols where they're making that true, where you're seeing adult dogs being led around by a handful of high-value treats That's not going to be useful in the assisted living home. By the time this dog hits the assisted living home, this initial learning phase is going to be, over with, and the dog is going to understand that its access to the people comes through being through indirect action. In other words, it comes from being calm, attentive, and polite, and we're no longer going to need the food work. I do not think a dog that needs food work as an incentive to behave properly has fully mastered basic obedience training. I don't care whether it's 2 years old, 5 years old, or 10 years old, and I don't care what kind of fancy obedience it does. If the dog still needs food work or a toy tucked under your arm, stay, to behave, even in high distraction areas, then we know that the dog has not internalized good basic obedience principles. Good. The dog has to grow up understanding that whatever it wants, playing with other dogs, meeting new people, getting in the lake, whatever fun stuff it wants to do, is predicated on being calm, attentive, and polite, and displaying situationally appropriate behavior. Anything less than that, anything that requires extrinsic motivation, you haven't actually done your basic obedience training properly. Now, I'm going to show you that's just the most simple, old-fashioned thing in the world to help you when you have a young dog that jumps on people. Okay, so I'm going to back tie this dog, and I'm going to ask Charlotte to come up this way, and I'm going to show Charlotte, come right here, Charlotte. And I'm going to show Charlotte where the back tie ends. Get over here to the side. Okay, now so Charlotte's going to come up and she's going to talk to the dog, but I'm now in a position where the dog can't get in the walker, she can't jump up on Charlotte, she can't give any trouble. Now, so you're going to stay right to where if the dog walks over to you, it can't jump up on your walker or get its leash in your walker legs, okay? Now, you're going to reach down and pet her. If she jumps up on you, you're going to withdraw your attention. Okay. And then when she sits and is calm, you're going to reintroduce your attention, okay? So we have multiple layers of motivation in play here. On the one hand, if Charlotte comes up and the dog jumps, then the jumping leads to Charlotte taking away the attention. The dog doesn't want the attention to go away. Okay, so show them, Charlotte. Let's just say we didn't want her to stand up. Back up. Now, when she calms down and she sits or lays down, you're going to go back over there and then reintroduce attention to her. This is such a simple, old-fashioned bit of advice, okay, that I forget that some of you didn't grow up, with good, simple, old-fashioned advice. Now, what's happening here is there's some bird poop on the ground. The dog's moving around thinking, I don't know about being back-tied. Don't worry about that. The dog will figure it out. Now Charlotte's going to go back, give it attention. If the dog starts mouthing her or jumping up, she takes her attention away. And she's going to be real patient. The dog sits, she reintroduces her attention. Now let me show you a really easy way to speed this process up. I stand over here and I say, hey, that's a good decision. So we're going to double up on the motivation. And then Charlotte pays attention to her. Very good. The dog takes, now this is a super important part. Watch as Charlotte withdraws her attention. I say, I appreciate you staying calm, attentive, and polite, even though that person withdrew the attention. See how easy that is? She eats her treat, Charlotte reintroduces the attention. Good. Charlotte withdraws her attention. Very nice. So we have the same kind of stuff, but with multiple layers of importance. On the one hand, if the dog jumps up on Charlotte, Charlotte withdraws her attention and the dog realizes that being rude leads to a withdrawal of attention, a withdrawal of what they want. Now, on the other hand, okay, I'm coming in and saying, if you accept the withdrawal of attention, you get rewarded and then the attention comes back. So we're always trying to multitask in any given training session, right? So she's accepting to take your attention away. Good, very nice. Now, if you're going to do this yourself, oh, well, you've got your own clicker, right? And maybe you don't have a helper, okay? You just pretend to be somebody that's, grab you a walker, grab you a cane, grab you a wheelchair if you can find one, and you just do the kind of stuff that you could foresee causing you problems. So Charlotte's just going to do it all by yourself. So you're going to pet on her, and if she goes to jump on you, you're going to, kind of real quickly withdraw your attention. Now, if you can pet her and withdraw your attention and she stays calm, attentive, and polite, you're going to click and reward. Very nice. Okay, all right, now switch out and grab the wheelchair. Now, dog training is one of those things where you'll hear people say all the time that dogs do not generalize well. And that's true. I mean, they don't generalize super well, but the reality is if you get to a dog when it's in a young formative stage, it can learn to generalize pretty well. So we just went over this whole exercise with the walker. Okay, now we're just going to do it with the wheelchair. Easy, honey. Come on, babies. Very nice. Come on, nerd. Up, up, up. So Charlotte's pushing the wheelchair around, and what we want to make sure that happens is the dog gets used to understanding about, and I know that that's an old-fashioned wheelchair, that's just what I got, you know, but like understanding the noise. I kind of bump it into the table there a little bit, Charlotte, you know. So we want the dog to be ready for any kind of noise, any kind of sudden movement. Pull it around as I'm walking. There you go. Good. You could even kind of like come up behind her a little bit and bump her just a little bit as I'm going here. You know, like this is the kind of thing you could see happening, right? Like somebody's in a wheelchair, one of those motorized wheelchairs, they kind of go fast and the dog gets bumped. Well, like we want the dog to be, you know, ready for that. Okay, now as I come around here, bump the wheelchair into the barrels there. Yeah, you can do it pretty hard. Make it kind of loud. One of the things that you run into in nursing homes or assisted living, now come over here, is like there's like food on the floor, there's dropped plates, there's, you know, I mean, there's like some weird stuff that can happen sometimes. Easy, very nice. And I'm just making a game out of this whole process where whatever distraction gets introduced into the environment, go ahead and bump into this. Whatever distraction gets introduced into the environment, the dog looks to me and says, hey, Stonnie, is this another one of those situations where I'm supposed to be calm, attentive, and polite? And I'm like, yeah, you can't hardly go wrong being calm, attentive, and polite. Easy. Very nice. Hup, hup, hup. You can do it. Oh, what a good nerd. Very nice. Good dog. Very good. Wait. Same thing right here. Good, there you go, good. Good, now as I stay right there, as I walk by, like call her to you or talk to her, you know what I'm saying? Now in this situation, since this dog's kind of on task, she needs to a little bit ignore the people as she walks by them. Then this is a chance for her to earn a point in this game. Let's go, honey. So see, she kind of ignored because she's supposed to stay on task. Something good happened as a result of that. Very nice. Easy. Very good. So we're walking down a hallway. There's a wheelchair right there. Got to walk past it. Very nice. Good. Okay, go over there, kind of over there beside the little stand there. Very nice. Oh my gosh, he's a smart little dog. He's a smart little dog. You can do it. You can do it. Very nice. Okay, now come by here. Maybe like when you get right here, talk to her. And say again, the dog's supposed to be on task right here, so. Oh, very nice. And now you can even like move your wheelchair so your mom can see. There you go. Good. And then pet the dog as you go by. Reach out, pet the dog. Dog accepts the petting going away. Appreciate it. Good. Now I want to get a little distance because I need to know as the handler that I don't have to be right up on the dog for it to make good decisions. So I just use a old-fashioned back tie method. Now, so Charlotte, right about here is where the dog could get itself in trouble. So you have to stay outside of this arc. I'd go around that way. And I'm going to walk away. Charlotte's going to come talk to the dog. She's going to move the wheelchair in front of the dog. Now, usually we have customers here or something. We'd put somebody in the wheelchair. Yeah, now watch your wheelchair. Don't get it to where it ends up like being able to get in the leash. Okay, and then talk to her and like kind of rotate it the other way. And then walk by her and pet her. Good. And where you have trouble is when you give an excited dog, like a real friendly dog, attention. When you go to take that attention away, they look at that as a big net loss and makes them uncomfortable. So look, I say, hey, I appreciate it. That's really nice for you to accept the attention going away. Good dog. I'm gonna bring her inside her leash distance just a little bit, and I come do it again. And I'm gonna walk away. So I want the dog to think if we're out doing some socializing and I walk away, it's not a bad thing. And if people come up and talk to her and walk away, it's not a bad thing. Now Charlotte walks away, even from way over here. I tell the dog, good decision. You just want a point in the game. And I come back. Very good. All right, now, here's the big payoff for the dog. Okay, Charlotte, just go ahead and park your wheelchair right there. And this is why you try to recruit you some help. Yeah, push it forward. There you go, good. That's right, why you try to recruit you some help, and you practice before you go to situations where there's going to be a lot of new people, a lot of novel stimulation. You know, like I always get so frustrated when I make videos and people comment, they're like, well, Stonnie, what if this happens? Look, guys, you practice swimming before you fall out of a boat, not afterwards, right? So we're practicing going to old folks' home, right? We're not going to go to the old folks' home and practice there without a lot of formal training first. So all of this walking, all of this stuff that just happened, there was some food work. I was a little happy with the dog, but what the dog really is wanting here is interaction. So Charlotte's she can play with the dog. All right, good dog, Charlotte. Good. Now take her off in that field and play with her some. Good. Just take her off the leash and take off running. Good. Very good. Good. Oh my gosh, they're very good dogs. Come on. Come on, come on. Good. Now you run and play with her and give her a treat. Good. Okay, and this is what we're after, guys. We're after making sure that the dog understands that lots of really fun, great stuff happens after the boring stuff in life. And if you can raise your dog to where they understand that the fun stuff happens after the boring stuff, then you're going to be able to go out and make new friends, because even if your new friends don't have the best manners, even if their dogs don't have the best manners, your dog understands. Like if I want to be able to play with new people and new dogs, I gotta be able to be patient and make it through the learning that like curve for those guys, because they have to learn how to play. Oh my gosh, a very good dog, very good dog. Okay, so that's kind of like going out and making new friends with people, you know. And in this situation, we were doing something very specific just because it was a dog that's going to be, you know, going to a nursing home or whatever. But now we're going to do, what if you want to go out and you want to make friends with a new dog, and maybe that new dog doesn't have the best manners. We're going to follow the same strategy, but we're just going to use a dog. All right, so we're going to go get another dog and we'll be right back. All right, now let's talk about putting your dog in situations where they learn how to make dog friends, okay? So this is Riot. Riot is 18-week-old Fox Red Labrador Retriever, and he just got here yesterday, so he's not the most calm, attentive, and polite dog in the world, but we're going to follow the same basic strategy. I'm going to walk this dog, and Charlotte is going to be out walking her dog. So Charlotte, go over there and kind of get in the middle. Now, what you guys are going to notice is that basically Charlotte is going to like be in a situation where she's getting drugged around by her dog, or she's having to drag her dog around. And this is what you're going to be, listen, this is what you're going to run into in real life, okay? Yes, you're the proactive dog trainer. You're out there clicking and treating, or if you're a traditional dog trainer, you're out there using traditional, you know, discipline methods. I don't care what you do, as long as you do something consistently, right? But you can't go in the world and say, since I do everything right, I'm so much better than everyone else. Because that doesn't really benefit you in the long run, doesn't really benefit your dog in the long run, okay? It definitely doesn't benefit, you know, other people in your neighborhood in the long run. What we're after is 360-degree winds, okay? So I see Charlotte, she's out with her dog. I say, hey, hi, my name's Stonnie. What's your name? Charlotte. Charlotte? Okay, your dog's beautiful. What kind of dog is it? He's a Fox Red Labrador Retriever. Wow, he's awesome looking. Thank you. This is Honey. She's a black lab. Ain't it funny how they come in different colors and stuff? Yeah. I've been training mine using like a clicker and some treats. Have you been trying to train yours?
Yeah, but I just got him, so he's a little wild.
He's a little wild?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to get together sometimes and maybe like we can train them together, and then, you know, we'll do our schoolwork, and then after our schoolwork we can let them have a little recess? Sure. Okay. All right. Now you see, as I'm talking, my dog's minding a little better. Okay? So how am I going to be better off if I'm Mr. Judgmental here? You know, how is my dog going to be better off if I'm Mr. Judgmental? Wouldn't I be better off, and my dog and Charlotte and her dog be better off if I'm Mr. Inclusive, right? You know, like, you know, if I'm Mr. Hey, do you mind if I give your dog a reward every so often? Okay. Like, so if I catch this little dog doing something I like, I don't like that, right? But I'm out walking dogs. I probably got my dog walking clothes on. That's not the end of the world. So he can only jump on me so many times. When he stops jumping on me, I say, hey, I appreciate it. Hey, you should try that when you go home. Just like whenever he's not jumping on people, give him a little reward. All right, now I'm going to work on my schoolwork. Okay, and you can work on whatever you want to work on. And then when we get done, like we'll go over there and let them play. Does that sound good? Okay, all right. So now again, I'm going to follow. Now I like exercise and food work as my primary, dog influencing protocols, but I don't care what you guys are doing. If you're doing it traditionally, same basic strategy applies. I'm just putting the dog in a situation where I can work on what I need to work on, okay? And then I'm trying to help my neighbors work on stuff they need to work on so that we all end up better off. So come on, Charlotte, you just walk right beside me just like you did with the walker. So a minute ago, we were worried about a dog being able to go around elderly people. And what we're working on right now is a dog being able to stay focused around other dogs that aren't focused. Because I noticed when I, made a video about how these Labradors especially, just friendly and outgoing dogs. Now listen, if you've got a dog that's not bred to be friendly and outgoing, okay, this advice doesn't really apply to you. Because I had people jump in the comments section. They were like, well, Stonnie, I have blah, blah, blah kind of dog. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why you bought that dog for the suburbs, I don't know why you're taking that kind of dog out in public. If I'm going to go out in public, I'm buying a friendly, outgoing dog, right? Now, so this advice is for you guys who bought the right dog. Come on, nerd. All right, but so Charlotte's dog's just learning, and I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to be a role model, okay? If I exclude Charlotte from my activities, her dog's never learning anything. But what I'm hoping is that Charlotte will see me doing stuff, and then when she sees me doing stuff and the positive results it has with my dog, that she'll start to think about doing it for herself. And I plan on seeing this dog. Once I made a new friend, I plan on seeing them sometimes, right? Okay, so I don't expect this dog to be better today. I just expect for him to be better today than he was yesterday. What a simple thing for dog training that people so often, lose sight of. You don't need your dog to be perfect today. You just need them to be better than they were yesterday. So I can reward my dog, and I can reward Charlotte's dog, and Charlotte can reward her dog, and Charlotte can reward my dog. So we develop like this sense in the dogs that people in the world have a lot to offer. Okay, so I've made a new friend, my dog's made a new friend. Now, of course, these dogs are a little bit like, I'd like to go ahead and get to the playing, right? Yeah. Okay, but so we have a responsibility to help the dogs realize their full potential. Out of all your classmates, do the ones who do the work before the play, do they end up making better grades?
Yeah.
They think they end up, kind of realizing their full potential a little bit better?
Yeah.
Life lessons, guys, life lessons. Easy, come on. Very nice. Up. You can do it. And Charlotte might say, this one seems like a hard one for me. I say, okay, well, it's a hard one for me too. I'll help you. So I'm going to reach back here. There you go. And I'm going to give her a little helping hand. Very nice. Good. Oh my gosh, these are very good dogs. So I'm going to reward here. Good. And then again, right, what we're going to do, what happened here, we maybe had to change dogs, right? Okay. So maybe Charlotte's having a really hard time with her dog. Maybe I just take Charlotte's leash, Okay, I'll do both of them if I have to. Good, very nice. There you go. Okay, now you're back. Okay. Good. Up. Now, so right here, let's see if we can get him to stick his head in that tunnel a little bit. Very nice. And then I'll come down here and help you. Hey, babies, what you doing? Oh, what these babies doing? Very nice dogs. Very nice dogs. Here we come, Charlotte. Very good. All right. Good. Now, see how, we're getting these dogs, they're competing, but they're competing in a way that conforms to our social expectations in this situation, which is they're friendly and outgoing. They're not being aggressive with each other. They are pulling a little bit. They are getting a little distracted. But if you have a dog like a friendly, outgoing dog, and he never pulls to get to see somebody else. He never pulls to see another dog. He probably ain't really that friendly and outgoing, is he? You know? Very nice. Good. Very good. Okay. Now, so we're going to use this same old-fashioned strategy here, where Charlotte's dog's kind of big and powerful, and he still hasn't really kind of figured out that being calm and attentive is what draws the fun stuff to him. So we're just going to back tie him. Good. And this is going to give me a chance to approach with my dog and encourage him to be calm, attentive, and polite. So I know how far he can go on the back tie. So I don't have to worry about the leashes getting caught up. I don't have to worry about like the dog jumping on me. I don't have to worry about anything. He's back tied. Back ties solve everything. I don't know how so many dog trainers nowadays don't know about back ties. Good. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to Charlotte and I'm going to say, you know, my dog used to jump up a lot too. And then just every day I started recruiting people to walk up and to pet my dog. And if he jumped up and it was too rude, I'd say, hey, take your attention away, so that he learns that if he's too forward, he loses attention. Okay. And after a while, dogs start to relax. And when he relaxes, they reward him. Okay? Very nice. And we just practice that. So watch, I'm going to, come on, nerd. I'm going to walk away with my dog. Good. Then I'm going to walk back up. Now, so he starts to get excited about it. Now, that's what I was looking for. Good dog. And then look at Honey. She knows that being on this little platform is a pretty good thing. So if my dog is a little bit advanced training, I might have my dog stay there, and I might have that one stay where it's staying using the back tie. Oh, now, so right there, as I walked away, Honey walked away with me, and this is going to happen to you. Sometimes you're going to like overestimate how well your dog's going to do. Don't get frustrated, just back up and make the exercise just a little easier. So I'm going to walk away, but I'm not going to walk away quite as far. Now look, see the dogs are being calm, attentive, and polite. I'm going to say, hey, I appreciate it when you're calm, attentive, and polite, and I appreciate it. He jumps up, look, I stop. He puts his bottom on the ground, I continue. Okay, now you try it. So now, Charlotte, where she's young, she has a lot of trouble physically controlling this young dog. But if she uses the back tie, she doesn't have to be strong. When this dog first got here yesterday, like it's pretty strong, so it was kind of pulling its owners to me. And so this pulling the owners, it would go over and jump on me. And the owners were letting it go. But here, that's not going to happen, because unless the dog can drag that four-wheeler around, he's pretty much stuck there. Okay? So now you're going to go away. You're going to go over there and you're going to come to the dogs, right? Now, if you have somebody that'll help you with the marker training, with the reward training, then they come up. I'm going to reach over here and step on my dog's leash. Now, so come up and give this dog a treat. Good. So your dog sees you giving this dog a treat, so it doesn't think it's going to lose like your attention. And then now give him a treat. And so you're convincing him that like people coming up or you talking to people, it's a good thing for him. You're also convincing him that if he's rude, he's going to lose access to the food, he's going to lose access to the attention, and he's not going to gain access to playing with this puppy. Okay, so go away. Now, if I don't have a helper that wants to get their hands dirty and doing food work, then they just come up and talk to the dogs, and then I, the handler of the dogs, will reward. So you come up, talk to them real excitedly. Good.
Oh,
very nice.
So cute.
Now, see, to take your attention away from him, see where he jumped on you? Yeah, so I would do it in a linear fashion. Like, so if he jumps on you, just immediately take your attention right back in that same line. Okay, so come up, talk to him.
Hi. Hi, buddy.
Now, he accepted your attention going away. Good. All right, now go get your scooter, okay? We'll do the same thing. So Charlotte is now going to move over and go into the garage, and she's going to get her scooter. Okay, now this dog likes Charlotte. This might be your dog. You need to practice going out of sight with your dog, because people like to integrate their dogs in their lives. Now, if you go get a pizza and you got to go to the potty, you want to take your dog to the potty every time you go? Come on, like that's just, you need to use that noggin a little bit, you know. So Charlotte goes away. I'm standing around, hanging out, saying, hey, listen, if your owner goes away for a little while, don't sweat it. You know, I get an endless parade of comments talking about nervous, anxious dogs, right? Okay, most of those dogs are just nervous and anxious because their owners want them to be nervous and anxious, to be honest with you. All right, now so Charlotte's going to ride her scooter. Good. Now watch how the back tie keeps the dog from being able to give Charlotte too much of a hard time. Okay, now come around this way, come a little wide. Don't get in here where you can get into the back tie. Come over here, come up to the dog, and then go away from the dog. Good. Now I'm standing on my dog's leash. Good. Dog didn't try to jump on her. Okay, this dog's not trying to jump on anybody. Very good. Okay, now that's pretty good. And remember, what we're trying to do every day is do a little bit better than yesterday. Okay, so if you think back to when you were in school, and I don't know if school's this way anymore because school's kind of wacky now, but like when I was a kid, you get your schoolwork done, you had recess. Okay, now these dogs have been really good, and what they really wanted the whole time was just to play and goof off. And I think that dogs need a chance to play and goof off during the day. I think this idea of making your dog go out and look at you and pretend you're important and pretend that like spinning circles or getting between your legs is like the high point of their day, that's all lies. It's all lies. Take any dog where you see people doing all that nonsense and give them the chance to just go play with a bunch of other dogs, go on a hike, get in a lake. They're all going to choose going and doing fun stuff over pretending that you're so super important because you have a toy or a handful of roast beef. Okay, so these dogs have been good. Now what we're going to do is have recess. Okay, so this dog comes off the leash. Oh my gosh, stand up. Oh, this dog's going to come off the leash, and this dog's going to come off the leash. Okay, and we're going to go out in the field and we're just going to let them play. And while we're letting them play, we're not going to micromanage very much. We're just going to take a little walk. And they'll be following the leader, the leader, the leader, following the leader wherever they may go. Come on, dogs. Come on, babies. Very nice. What is that nerd doing? Hey, come on, nerd. Good. Now, as we're walking, we still might like come in here and reward the dogs every once in a while if we see them doing something we'd like to see them do again. But the most rewarding thing here is just getting to play with each other. So Charlotte and I are going to walk, and Charlotte's my new friend, and we're going to talk about whatever, you know, we might have in common. And the dogs are going to like talk about whatever they might have in common. You know, maybe they're talking about their favorite chew toys or like where they like to be rubbed. Who knows? But this is what they really want to do. This is the positive reinforcement that is the real driver of dog behavior, guys. Dogs need to they need to understand that they get to do the stuff that they want to do. And there's keys to unlocking access to those fun activities. Okay, and around here, it's pretty simple keys. They got to have a basic vocabulary. They got to have pretty good social skills. They got to have pretty good physical skills. But if they'll come out and get their schoolwork done, this is the payoff. And this is why in my program, we only use food work for the introductory part of the course, you know, because there's no piece of food that is more rewarding than getting out and getting to live life and be social with your friends. Dogs are social, people are social, or people are meant to be social. We just live in a strange time where people have forgotten how to be social, okay? All right, but anyway, that's my basic like pro tip video for how to get out and win friends and influence dogs, okay? And I hope you liked it. Now, if you have comments or you want to disagree with me, go ahead. Put your comments in the you know, down below and let's hash it out. Let's see who's right and who's wrong. My opinion is that dogs and people are better off when they're looking to make new friends and build long-lasting relationships, okay? If you have a different opinion, listen, I am more than happy to discuss it in an open format. But I'm gonna warn you here, if you're gonna come here and talk about what I do and how it works or doesn't work, okay, you have to be willing to put up videos of your facility and you doing a similar job, okay? Like, because if you're just gonna come here and say, I don't know what I'm talking about and you ain't got any content, I don't believe you. Okay. All right, guys, I will see you next week. Very good job, Charlotte.
Thank you.
Very good.